What's going on, man? Welcome back to the basement. I'm Ron. Today we're going to do some NFL playoff best ball drafts. We have the Fantasy Stock Exchange with us. We have Danny. We got Bush. How are we doing today, fellas?
Doing good. Ready to rip some we got, 24 hours until the first game kicks off, about 10 minutes away from 24 hours. So pretty excited. Not a lot of bullets in the chamber when we actually knew what was going to happen. A lot of our drafts that I did were like week 14 and week 15 when we were in like Montreal and Buffalo. So it's nice to get a look at the ADP now that we actually know where everything's settled in at.
That's
fair. How much you guys end up with volume-wise? I wanted to max 25. The gauntlet and couldn't get there.
I could only get
25. Like 40 bullets 25? In the gauntlet, a couple big mittens, and then like I sprinkled in like 3 or 4 weekly winners and little gauntlets, I think.
Yeah, I ended up getting 25 total, but the 25 I got, I'm pretty like outside of the Jaguars and a couple one-off Colts, like that sunk me, but like hitting on a team like the Rams, for example, has really been nice, especially because I was taking them as one-offs with my Cowboys teams. And if both the Cowboys and the Rams win this weekend, they are guaranteed not to play in the divisional round. You'd have the Rams going to the Niners, and you'd have the Cowboys hosting the Bucks or the Philadelphia Eagles, assuming
it'll be the Bucks
win.
Huh.
Yeah, I mean, it very well could be.
What do you guys want to hop into? And entry on me. We'll split winnings.
Yeah, I'm down for a gauntlet too. I want to see what the new exposures have kind of evened out now, because I know, like, when I was doing gauntlets, like Tyreek was like the 3rd pick. And he's like a mid-second now, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
I had like established the run rankings in here from a few days ago. Instead of updating them, we're just gonna go off ADP.
Joe Flacco, 2nd ranked player, is pretty bold.
No, that's the wild card.
I'm joking.
Joe Flacco, man. Have you guys seen any of those Stabby videos that he does?
I haven't. What did he say?
He's like this like fat comedian.
I've heard of the name.
He does videos with Joe Flacco?
No. He does like an impression of a Ravens fan.
Oh, really?
He's like, there's something about Flacco, He does like
that's good.
The Delco accent or whatever. He's like, Lamar's nice, but there's something I trust more about Flacco.
Yeah, man.
Dude, it's so good.
Bro, speaking of comedians, by the way, it's so funny how now everybody's like recognizing Shane Gillis's bits on Twitter when like you never saw that come to light. Now everybody's like, "Hey, grilled cheese."
Yeah.
I saw him perform
he got TikTok and social media made him famous for sure.
Oh yeah. I mean, YouTube Shorts now. You search up comedy on YouTube Shorts, it's just a bunch of Shane Gillis shorts.
Yeah, no, it's crazy because like I remember following that like group of guys like with Normand and DeStefano and List and Sam Morrell and stuff, and they all kind of just like blew up simultaneously because they all started releasing free specials on YouTube, and then a lot of them started getting on Rogan and stuff. So, okay, we want to go Sedarian here.
You gotta go 8-8, baby. You gotta go 8-8. Let's go.
Yeah,
what a
we
year,
all know
man.
Danny is down
what a
for
year,
that.
dude. We were talking.
Man.
I was talking about it with Mason, and we were just talking about like the dynasty wide receiver landscape, and he posted on the Flock website whether or not CD should be the wide receiver 1. He said he was his own 3, and I basically said at this point, everything that I have from a process standpoint, from a situational standpoint, from an overall top end production standpoint, from a receptions, yards, touchdown opportunity in this offense, like I keep coming back to it, dude. He's got to be my wide receiver 1.
Yeah, he's definitely not my wide receiver 1.
I think he has a case for it. I think he has a case for it.
Like if Kirk's back in Minnesota, I think you put Kirk, you put Justin Jefferson at 1. But
Joe Burrow's better than all the quarterbacks. So that's
I'm gonna be honest. I have an easier time putting
ahead.
Chase ahead of him, just because he's a year younger than both the guys from that class, and he's attached to Burrow. But like, it's definitely it's fair to be like, well, where the hell is his like 1,750-yard season like CD just had?
Well, if Higgins walks in free agency, then it could very well be next year.
Very well could be. Now I keep coming back to my boy Sedarian.
But you can put them all in the same tier.
Yeah, they're all in the same tier for me.
You
they're all great options for sure.
Which is like massive in CDs, right?
Yeah. So what are we thinking in terms of how we want to build this out?
Well, I mean, Dak probably has to be.
Dak probably has to be the pick for us here.
Yeah. I
My brain wants to gravitate towards getting unique because
Zay?
other people had like different combos, but this tournament is new, right? Like it's only been out for like this week, so we don't have to worry about like ADP value that people got in the original gauntlet.
What are your thoughts on Dak and Zay?
I like that a lot.
Yeah, I like Dak and Zay. I don't mind grabbing James Cook because I'm kind of on the fade Diggs camp a little bit when it comes to the Buffalo stacks. I don't mind grabbing like James Cook as our AFC run back as our running back too, because also Pollard is bad. Like I don't really want to have to rely on Pollard for this stack. I wouldn't mind building out a Bills Cowboys, but I also don't mind Zay too.
Yeah, I mean, I will say the defenses that the Cowboys will play.
He just went.
That stinks.
Okay, so Prescott would be the pick here. My vote here would be James Cook, assuming this guy doesn't double tap.
I'm for it.
Yeah, I guess Diggs already went, so he's going to go Ayuk and Kittle. That is beautiful for him.
Yeah, that's actually really nice.
The only problem I would have there is trying to advance the team, knowing that your quarterback is probably going to be weaker. But I mean, if you're going to bring Niners correlation, that's really good. My vote would be James Cook. Yeah,
Cook would be my vote too. Because we should be able to get good like one-offs or good AFC or NFC championship contenders against these two teams, because I think their paths are pretty nice as the 2 seeds. We know we can kind of go in any which direction and kind of galaxy brain our way into it.
No, 100%.
Because like if the Dolphins upset the Chiefs, then that throws everything for a loop, right? And if the Rams upset the Lions, it throws everything for a loop as well.
Well, I mean, just talking about it real quick in terms of the setup, Bills and Cowboys. I mean, I might regret saying this as a Cowboys fan, but I feel pretty confident with both these teams making it to the championship games on both their sides. The Bills, if they win this week, I like their chances against Kansas City at home. The Cowboys, if they win this week, then obviously I like their chances either against Detroit at home or the Bucs or the Philadelphia Eagles. So in this instance, like I feel good about both these teams making the championship games, and at that point, you just need a little bit of luck, right?
Who would you not want to play if you're either of those two teams?
As the Cowboys?
Yeah, if you're the Cowboys, who do you not want coming to Dallas?
I mean, out of the teams that can come to Dallas, the Rams are the scariest for me for sure.
Well, the Rams won't, because
that would be the NFC
Packers
Championship.
The only way that you would get that, and they would beat you in that case. So that's not.
No, I'm just saying
the Lions, the Buccaneers, and the Eagles. Which one are you the most
Lions
scared
for sure.
of?
Lions.
Yeah, I think it had to be Lions.
Yeah, for sure. And on the Bill,
because of that,
are you most scared of the Chiefs? Because I don't think I would be, to be honest. I'd be more scared of the Dolphins than the Chiefs.
I'd be more scared of the Chiefs because of experience. Because
I was just about to ask you guys, like, dude, I can't quit the Chiefs, man. I like the Chiefs.
I do too.
My portfolio says I do, but I don't really like it, like in my brain.
It comes down to the fact that you got an experienced playoff quarterback, the best quarterback on the planet, and a defense that has been the best he's worked with in his career. Obviously, the offensive struggles are a real thing, but I trust him to just figure it out, man. And we've seen it even in 2018 Brady.
Quick. We can go Cooks, Gus.
We could go Puka.
I think we can get Cooks with our next pick. I think we should set up a secondary NFC or AFC here. Do we want to go with Gibbs maybe, or do we want to go with, because Gibbs projects the best, I think, of the guys on the board.
Let's go Gibbs.
Okay, let's do that then. The only problem
then we can build, because like there's JMO, there's Laporta's falling because of the injury and stuff like that. We can grab Gibbs, Laporta later on and get like a 2-stack in the NFC side. It'd be challenging for them to not face in the NFC. Like they would face the NFC title game, I suppose, if
no, the only way they play is second round. They're 2-3.
Really, they can't play in the NFC title game.
That's why my vote would have been Puka Cup.
Okay. Well, that's a little unfortunate. This will be a little bit min cashy at that point, but
we'll just have him as like a
one-off.
We'll do
probably be our
Cooks
pick
here. Yeah. I'm fine with him being a one-off. What if he's the guy you need in round 1?
Yeah, who knows?
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, for sure. I think like literally, if I had to make like wild card rankings, like I think Gibbs would be near the top of guys that I would put up there. He'd be like one of the better projections there. And we could always too like grab a 2-stack of AFC players on the other side to roll with the Bills AFC Championship as well. I also I think people are taking it a little too hard and fast that you need you need 6 players in the Super Bowl and then you want 2 players in the AFC Championship and 2 players in the NFC Championship or whatever. Like to me, football is just so much more chaotic than all that simplicity of building out AFC and NFC Championship contenders. Like Gibbs being the guy you need in the wild card round because he drops 36 points or something, that makes too much sense to me, as something that would cause all of those people that decided, hey, if it is Cowboys and Bills, I'm avoiding the Lions because I don't want to stack up Jahmyr Gibbs on that team. But at the same time, like I feel like more casual drafters are just going to draft Gibbs anyway. So maybe I'm Galbraining into being a casual.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you mentioned that so real quick because a lot of people with their correlators to the Cowboys aren't going to take Lions, aren't going to take well, I mean they're going to take 49ers, I guess.
I think
Really
you'd be
just the
shocked how
Lions would be the team.
suboptimal some drafters are in here.
Yeah,
I think
and
some
that's
guys
fair
are
too.
just going best player available, letting the fucking chips fall.
Yeah, I know.
Man.
I feel like me thinking that they're going to be smart enough to avoid Lions is maybe
They take the guys they know.
Yeah, it's probably stupid on my part, but then again, like it could still work out.
But
Like, I couldn't tell you what this guy is building out here. We got Lions, 49ers, Browns, Eagles.
Vibes.
Already.
So
cheese
Ron, in
grater.
week 14, I drafted a team in Montreal, like the week that the original gauntlet opened. And this team is like the most impossible thing to possibly build now because I built out Josh Allen, James Cook, Stephon Diggs, like at the end of the draft, like really late in the 40s. So I got those guys in addition to CeeDee Lamb, Brandon Ayuk, Amon-Ra St. Brown, and Tony Pollard, which are like all very high picks right now. So
we probably go AFC here.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do we want to go? Do you want to go in Njoku here?
Yeah, because they can't play the Bills until the AFC Championship.
Yeah, we could go in
hypothetically.
Njoku for sure.
Yeah, I dig that. Adding to that,
Is
real
there
quick,
okay? We still need one more guy in the Super Bowl, correct?
Yeah, I mean Jake Ferguson, is he still available? That has to be the pick if he is.
Yeah, because we faded Pollard too, so it wouldn't
Sadly
kind of make
not.
sense for us. I think he went.
He's 20th ADP now. Is that what I read? Or is that 20
my
projected?
vote? Geez, we're in a tough spot. You could talk me into Mostert. You could talk me into Baltimore if you want.
I would just say DVS would be my pick. Just pick whoever you want here, honestly.
Yeah, your call.
All right, give me freaking Mostert. We'll see how he does. Is he like gonna play? Gee, who knows?
I mean,
yeah, that might be a bit of a throw for that reason because I don't know if he's 100%, but
I mean, the bet would be there because if Miami wins, they're guaranteed to play the Ravens in this hypothetically because the Buffalo would take care of the Steelers and then Miami would go on the road to play Baltimore. So like you're still live.
Cleveland ends up playing.
They would have to play the Bills.
Yeah, that's fine. Whatever.
That's fine.
If you got two games out of both those players, I still think, or one of them you only get one game out of, it's still fine if they have the big performance that you need or whatever. So let's definitely make sure we're a little more strategic with this next pick. I think Khalil Shakir would be my vote for this next one.
Yes.
Secure another bill.
Like
where are you at in terms of like how many guys you're trying to get to the Super Bowl? Are you trying to like hit the nuts with 5 or 6, or are you trying to go, like mega stack 7 or 8 and like put aside like if you have any Ravens or 49ers, because then obviously you're probably going on the lighter side.
I'm kind of just distributing it pretty evenly. Like I have a couple where it's pretty aggressive, where it's literally just 2 teams, 5-5. I've tried a little bit of the 5 49ers and Ravens, like 3-2, and then kind of trying to build out something else. So it kind of just depends how it falls to me, but I have been on the side of kind of just like I know that you kind of are saying like people might be overthinking it, but for me it really has been just how many can I squeeze into a potential Super Bowl, and even building out like multiple Super Bowl scenarios. But
yeah,
I don't know. It's such an unsolved game, but that it's been a lot of vibes. I'll just be completely honest here.
Yeah, with this team specifically, with Bills and Cowboys, you got to imagine there's going to be a lot of people building out Bills and Cowboys. So on a team like this, I'd probably more inclined to build out 7 or 8 in the Super Bowl. Looks like my camera just died. I'll be back in 1 second. But yeah, I don't want to build out a 6-man in the Super Bowl when you have to hit the nuts and people might have dupes plus more players on top of that.
No, 100%.
You can just backseat me for a second, Ron.
For sure. By the way, my vote here would be Shakir and Davis if we can get that.
I like that. It seems like Davis isn't playing, but that's not a massive deal.
You sacrifice some round 1, but then in return, you're basically saying, okay, well, Khalil Shakir is even safer of a bet to make your lineup in round 1, right?
No, 100%. So now we have Dallas. We have 3 Dallas. Yeah. So then I like Gabe. So now we have Cowboys, Bills. We are 1 Cowboy away from having Cowboys, Bills, Cowboys, Browns, Cowboys, Dolphins in terms of just like
what's Rico Dowdle's cost here? He's probably off the board, eh?
No, he's there.
He's still available.
I like Dowdle too.
I think he's the perfect leverage play at this point because he's shown some
Yep.
standalone value. He's shown some standalone juice, even in the passing game. Like he
Yep.
took a screen pass the other day for like 25 yards in that game against the Commanders. Like he has some juice. And again, if anything were to happen to Tony Pollard, you're inheriting one of the most valuable roles from a point production standpoint on the offense. And maybe, he's just flat out more efficient than Pollard because Pollard didn't have the efficiency working his way this year.
Yeah. No, Dowdle looks good, man.
Oh yeah. He's got some juice. Big fan of what we've seen from him. By the way, Corey was mentioning teams. This is not going to happen anymore, but I was able to get a team, 49ers, Bills. So I got a 2-3-5. Purdy, Josh Allen at 22 ADP. That's where I got him, 22 cost. James Cook, Kyron Williams, Rashad White, Debo, Diggs, Gabe Davis, Dalton Kincaid, Puka Nacua.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm feeling good about that one.
The draft I did, Danny, was literally right at the beginning of the contest. I got Allen and Diggs in the 40s in that draft, and Cook in the
crazy.
50s.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I have one where I hopped on when you guys were streaming them that I really liked. I got like a late Bill stack in that one. I wish I named it, but
let's go.
I might be able to find it because I named all my old, like my Montreal ones.
Also, I see Mr. Brock congratulating me and the Wolverines. I already showed Ron, I already showed Bush, but we got the Go Blue over here, baby. We got the Go Blue.
I'm already sick of the Go Blues. I've seen it 30 times.
You're lucky I didn't bring out the fake mohawk.
Yeah. Okay. So what do we have? What do we got? 6 guys in the Super Bowl here?
We got Dow. Yeah, essentially.
Yeah,
we were looking at Dowdle next. But
I gotta
cool,
be honest,
whatever.
I'm not a fan of going 4 running backs. I would rather probably just grab like
maybe Tolbert.
Yeah, even Tolbert, or even like a hope that a Hendershot or a Schoonmaker catches a touchdown in the Super Bowl.
We do have Gibbs. I don't mind JMO either, assuming Laporta's banged up.
Was JMO?
I think we would want AFC side.
JMO's there. Fair, I'm down.
All right, we going Tolbert?
Yeah, I'm down.
Yeah, Tolbert or Turpin would be nice too, even.
Yeah. I think that.
Tolbert, man. Who would have thought? He had a couple games.
I mean, Michael Gallup is
zero.
Certified washed, so.
Well, I mean, from a Cowboys perspective, Jalen Tolbert's been really nipping in terms of Gallup's overall snap shares in recent weeks. And, I mean, he had that touchdown, the first touchdown of the game against the Commanders. Dak off his back foot. Jalen Tolbert, good adjustment on the ball, was able to score. So if they can trust him in those critical type of spots, I wouldn't be shocked if he really saw his playoff or his playing time really expand in the playoffs.
They should sign T.Y. Hilton again.
Bro, he had that one play against the Eagles.
Dude, that one play,
right after that.
Man.
Crazy play.
Was it like fucking like 4th and a mile or something like that?
It was like 3rd and 23, I think. Yeah.
This is, I think, in this tournament, you really do need to get a little crazy with your one-off, or not with your one-off. Sorry, with your like if you're going to build out 7 or 8 Cowboys and Bills, like you got to get like you can't just like grab the next guy in ADP. Like grabbing a random Schoonmaker or whatever could be like the piece you need, because the ADP is so much tighter now that everybody knows who's in the playoffs. There's like far less dead teams. I think in the Gauntlet 1, it was just like, let me get a team with 9 or 10 live and get some, better projections and stuff. You don't have to get too crazy with it. But in this one, it's like kind of difficult, I think, to just like field a 6-man Dallas Bills Super Bowl, because you're probably going to have guys in the final that are going to have 7 or 8-man Bills Cowboys Super Bowls.
Yeah.
You guys mess around with any Texans?
I got a lot of Texans early, actually. I got when I was in Montreal, like the Texans hadn't lost Tank Dell or Stroud or Collins yet. So I was like hammering Texans early on because I was like, dude, they're like out of the playoffs, and I think they could really make a run here. And I actually had like a couple really good Texans teams.
Well, it's funny because I mean, like the most obvious chalk that ended up actually hitting in a huge way would end up being
right?
Hill. Yes, easy. Has to be CMC. But the most obvious chalk that ended up hitting in the biggest way is, I mean, the Bills getting the 2 seed is so freaking massive, because if you're drafting this when the tourney opened, like you're getting those guys at such depressed cost when the Bills were the 6-6 team. People didn't really know, and
they're like a coin flip to make the playoffs at that time.
And I remember like we were always on the same page where like, yo, like if they sun run, the implied upside here is they're potentially a top 4 team in Super Bowl odds, which I mean, I think they're number 3 in terms of odds on PFF right now.
Yeah, can you go to wide receivers real quick, Ron? I just want to like literally show you the ADPs of this team. So I have Lamb, Ayuk, St. Brown, Diggs,
Wow.
Nico Collins, which I drafted again in week 14, so that was a great one-off to have. And then Jamison Williams there on that team. And then I have Pollard, James Cook, Josh Allen, Jared Goff. I wish I didn't bitch out and draft Jared Goff and Josh Allen. I wish I had just rolled with Allen, but yeah, this team is live for sure to do some damage, because having
what are the teams again?
Lamb, Diggs, and St. Brown is pretty ridiculous from like
it's
a
like
week
Niners,
1 projection too.
Cowboys.
It's so
Texans.
the team is here. I named it something here.
I guess what are the Super Bowl scenarios?
So it's a Bills and Lions 3x3, and also it has two. Sorry, hold on. It has Bills, Lions 3x3, and I have Pollard and Lamb too. So it could be Bills, Cowboys as well.
I like having different outs for Super Bowl. I know it's kind of like maybe spreading too thin, but I have a couple where it's like they give you like 4 different ways.
Dude, if it's a Bills Cowboys Super Bowl, nobody is going to have Josh Allen, James Cook, Tony Pollard, Stephon Diggs, and CeeDee Lamb. Nobody's going to have that.
No,
that's impossible to build.
Yeah, that's really insane. By the way, looking on this turn, I really think we should get a quarterback plus a Niner correlator, and I think Mahomes and Kittle's gone.
Kittle went at 10.
God damn.
Mahomes, Kelsey,
Kittle or Ayuk.
Do we want to mess around and try and hit the nuts on the Ravens 49ers? Oh, I guess we don't have a quarterback then. Never mind.
We wouldn't have a quarterback. I think Mahomes, Kelsey.
Let's go Mahomes, Kelsey. I'm with that.
Let's go.
Yeah, we can do Mahomes, Kelsey for sure.
I've been seeing some Rice mixed in over Kelsey. Now I can't get there, but what are your thoughts on that, Ron?
In the playoffs, I can't. I get it. I get it. But in the playoffs, man, like the thing that's gonna be rough, dude. Like, what are we saying about all this weather talk, dude? Like they're saying that this Miami Chiefs game
the Dolphins and Chiefs game.
Yeah, dude. Are they gonna? Is this gonna be like a 9-3 game,
bro? If the Chiefs go down hard, like as in like nobody does anything for fantasy, and the Dolphins go down hard, like that's gonna sink a lot of teams, man. Because I feel like the Chiefs are just the go-to pivot strategy.
Yeah,
because they have all the cheap pieces, right? You can grab Rice and Pacheco and obviously the Sky Moores and the Kadarius Tonys of the world. So if the Chiefs go down, like, and this is also one of those teams with the 49ers and Chiefs that I feel like is just going to be a very common stack in general. This is one of those teams I would want to build to 7 or 8 deep in the Super Bowl and go wildly off the board with 1 or 2 of them. Like, and grab a Ronnie Bell or like a, something random like that.
Yeah, like Ronnie Bell, man.
Elijah Mitchell's obviously the big leverage there. Go blue, by the way. Elijah Mitchell's the biggest leverage piece because obviously, if you're not getting CMC at 101 and you want to build Niners correlation, I feel way more safer with projecting Elijah Mitchell. But because of Jordan Mason, I think that's the reason why you're getting him at 51.6 rather than probably the 40 ADP he would have if there was no Jordan Mason, right?
Yeah,
so Pacheco
Pacheco's
for
pretty
sure.
easy smash
I think
here.
Pacheco Cup would be my vote.
I'm for it. The only problem with Cup is that
Cup would be very likely to play the 49ers. Yeah. I'd be actually better going Cooper here because I don't think it would be very likely that those guys would play each other.
Amari.
Yeah. It's fine by me.
Obviously, a big matchup too. Potentially, let's just say the Chiefs struggle in the first round. Amari Cooper plays the same Texans defense he literally carved up 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
100%. And if they both won, then the Browns would be playing in
Ravens.
Baltimore, and the Chiefs would be playing presumably the Bills.
Yeah, you get me on.
The only way they would play each other is if the Bills lost to the Steelers. Which
that's not happening. That's not happening.
That's gonna be
imagine if it did though. How many best ball teams are going down at that point? Should I be mixing in Steelers? Is that what I'm saying to myself?
Dude, maybe a last round George Pickens if you want to get fruity.
Literally never. Yeah, exactly.
If you want,
it would be annoying though if Pickens was the piece you needed in round 1.
The odds of
him one game out of him and he drops 36 points or something.
Yeah,
I can't. The odds of him going off in the snow in Buffalo. If anything, it might be like Najee Harris.
It's not an unnecessary galaxy brain. It's a 2 of 6 advance. There's zero reason to do that.
Hear me out.
Devontae Swift.
I'm for it. Or we can go with Njoku because we have Amari.
49ers and Eagles. Yeah, I guess you'd have to hope the Rams upset the Lions in that scenario because they'd also be quite likely to go to San Fran in round 2.
Because I'm just saying, I'm just looking on the side of we got to start building. I guess.
Yeah, I'm with that. We can do Smith and Swift, but I do think we should probably dedicate the rest of our spots to our Super Bowl stack.
Yeah,
I think.
Agreed.
Just because I think San Fran and Kansas City is very common for people to stack up. I think you need pieces in that game.
Real quick,
Chiefs got a lot of fun flyers.
Yeah,
I
mean, hypothetically, we
what if
could
Noah Gray
also
scored the
just build out the
touchdown?
Chiefs
Yeah.
and Eagles rematch too.
Scantling's catching one big touchdown at some point in the playoffs, but
I was gonna say, like, how do we feel about these guys? Because I'm closing my eyes and fucking just swinging.
I like
don't have...
Watson and MVS the most of those guys.
same.
Yeah.
And then I also don't mind Justin Ross and Sky Moore. Of that group, I'm kind of hard fading Richie James, Hardman, and Tony.
Any love for Richie James?
Nah, no love. Marquez Valdez-Scantling is the spike week king, and I think Sky Moore and Justin Ross are like could catch a touchdown.
I do love the
but
MVS.
the best.
Bro, what about experimenting with Blaine Gabbert?
Out of this group.
Experimenting with Blaine Gabbert.
No. I have one singular Sam Darnold team.
Let's go.
I say we forego Watson altogether with this team, to be honest.
That's fine by me.
We need one more Chiefs correlator though. So like any of them, and I'm cool.
I actually like going Jennings and MVS here, to be honest.
Not at this pick. Last
49ers,
pick, right?
2 Chiefs.
I'm telling you, we need pieces in this game because this is a very common stack.
I would go Chiefs instead because you get the extra round.
Right, but there's another Chief that's going to be available later. If we grab Jennings and
I think Watson Jennings sounds good to me.
Yeah, or MVS Jennings would be my vote, but Watson's fine too.
Yeah. Okay.
And we can kind of hope for MVS 10th round. We'll see.
Yeah.
By the way, what if the one-off piece you need in round 1, snowy Buffalo weather, Najee Harris pounds in 2 touchdowns, 30 carries for 123 yards and 2 touchdowns? Could you imagine?
No,
yeah, I mean Najee Harris being the piece you need in anything is horrible.
No, I would be sick. Honestly, it's something that's pretty off topic, but something that I've been getting flamed for in the comments, like where are we at on Jackson Smith-Njigba? Where the hell are we at on Jackson Smith-Njigba? Because every time that I'm critical of his rookie season in any capacity, the guy who scored less points, look, he was my wide receiver 1. I like JSN. I just want to put that out there. But he had less points per game than Josh Downs, Rashid Shaheed, Demarcus Robinson. Like, he did nothing this year. I mean, like, he did not faceplant. I'm not saying he faceplanted, but I had him in terms of like dynasty rankings. I have him behind Dell. I have him behind Flowers, Addison. I have him behind even Rashee Rice. At this point.
Oh, dude, there's people out there that are still staunch. He's the wide receiver 1 from this class.
Yeah, I mean that's
playing
that's
behind
ridiculous.
DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett. Like, let's keep a spade here. Tyler Lockett sucked this year.
Yeah,
bro.
he was not good this year.
Tyler Lockett wasn't good this year. So Jackson Smith-Njigba, if you drop Tank Dell in that situation, how much better does Tank Dell perform?
So for reference, by the way, Ron, speaking of that, it's funny because there was a quote following when we dropped our rookie mock draft, but he ended up getting to wide receiver 5, 112 overall. And like
that's about right
now,
Adam.
That's when we redrafted. Yeah.
Yeah. And if you wanted to argue Zay Flowers and Jaden Reed over him, I think you have well within a case. Even Josh Downs.
When I talked to Harmon about JSN's rookie season and like where he should rank among wide receivers, like Harmon was adamant that Zay Flowers should have been the wide receiver 1 based on pure ability. Maybe not necessarily fantasy value because of what Nakua is doing and
MVS
that kind of thing. But he was like, when I watch the guy, MVS would be my pick here. He's like, when I watched the guys like and charted him, like it was Downs and Zay Flowers who performed the best.
I didn't like Flowers at all coming out. Like
I really liked Flowers. He was the wide receiver 3 for me. Like it was very clearly JSN and Addison like flip-flopped all spring long. For me, it was mainly Addison for the most part until like March. And then I was like, okay, maybe it's JSN now because the 3-cone and how Addison performed at the combine. But then I was like, wait, am I just getting baited and people are talking me into JSN wide receiver 1 and it should be Jordan Addison. So I kind of went back and forth on that. I ended up with more Addison than JSN because I took Addison like 105 or whatever in rookie drafts and people thought JSN was like way better. So I just traded down anytime I had a JSN pick.
Yeah. 100%.
I don't have a single JSN share.
Neither do I. I had 2 opportunities to draft him and I traded 105 Jameson Williams and the 112 for Chris Olave and the 107 in one league. I was like, I'm literally taking that any day of the week. I got Chris Olave and Jordan Addison instead of JSN, Jameson Williams, and I think Will Levis or something like that.
Dude, people were treating him like he was not that he was a
clean.
chase level prospect, but some guys
CeeDee
had
Lamb.
him.
Everybody's comping the situation to CeeDee Lamb's rookie
Crazy.
season, and I'm like, it's not the same though.
And then they would put him like as like a top 10, like somewhere in that like wide receiver 9 to like 12 area of dynasty rankings.
He's
don't
like a
know.
top
Still not
20ish
tough.
type of guy. Like I would say top 20ish at this point.
He's
Like
literally
we were
at
always,
20 for me.
yeah.
It's exactly how I
I-
feel about him.
I
So
think
he
I
should
have
be a
in terms
top
of
20
tape.
dynasty receiver, but 20.
Yeah,
we
Lamb.
could go Lamb again. I'm down for Allen, Lamar. I'm down for anything.
I never build Ravens teams, so I'd be down for Lamar here.
I'm down
you
for,
guys
let's
take
do
the
a one
pick.
off Lamar. Yeah, just because we did Lamb on the
Let's do it.
first one. In a vacuum, I'd probably go Lamb there too. But
I'm down.
The last thing I'll
Um,
say there is, again, I don't watch film, but just watching him outside of he had the
Andrew's
bomb on
ADP.
the he had the
Yeah,
the bomb
Likely's
on the
off the board,
primetime
by the way.
game.
Likely's
Andrews?
off the board. Andrews is back, baby.
Oh yeah, I
56
saw
ADP,
that.
baby. 56 ADP. Go take advantage.
But he had the big play on Thursday Night Football that wasn't called a catch, but that was still impressive. He had like the one hand catch that he had, but outside of that, like I
Mahomes?
wasn't all that impressed. You know what I mean? Like I'm just curious. I'm curious in terms of like what you guys saw on tape in college versus like what he did in year one. Like it had to be a letdown just having like that's the funniest part. Like everyone in my comments like, oh, but they have Lockett and Metcalf, and like sure, we just talked like Lockett sucks. It's like yeah, but
we had
draft
that
rookies to produce. You know, like we like in redraft. I'm sure we all had our fair share of JSN because we thought rookie wide receivers they'd produce. Right? We saw Jaden Reed, Rashee Rice, like all these guys down the stretch, and JSN was a nothing burger.
Well,
like so,
my
it's
biggest
tough.
problem with that ideology that people have, that concept is if you were concerned about his production in year one, why were you taking him at the 104, the 105? You were taking him at the 104, 105, expecting him to overcome that situation. Yeah, maybe overcome that situation.
Be better than
not
Tyler
by,
Lockett.
yeah, like maybe not like a 1,200-yard rookie season, but 900 yards, 1,000 yards, like that's respectable there at that point. Having sub 700 yards, like even if you were still saying, oh, you know what, we didn't expect much from him, that's still got to be under your expectation. You were taking him as a top 5 overall rookie, and point blank simple, he's arguably the wide receiver 5 in this class now.
Well,
Yeah.
here this explains exactly how JSN's been. Okay, well, let's make this pick first.
Flowers
you want to
here,
go Flowers
or-
here
Flowers.
for
Just
sure.
go with
Right?
McCaffrey. Should we play with Kittle? Should we see if we could get Flowers past the turn?
I'm down. I'm down to do it.
Yeah, I'm cool.
Let's see if we can do it. This could be a complete throw, but honestly,
No,
with
this could be
Andrews coming
bad.
back-
This could be bad, but let's see.
with Andrews coming back, I think there's more flexibility now that you don't need Flowers.
I agree.
Yeah, agreed.
I'm glad I got a couple Andrews shares too, actually, early on in like week 14, week 15. I was like, Andrews will be back for a playoff run. Get out of here.
Monra, okay.
But anyways, what Harmon charted was that against man coverage, Josh Downs, Jaden Reed, Puka Nacua, Zay Flowers, Demario Douglas, Michael Wilson, Tank Dell, and then JSN. That's the success rates in season.
You guys
Pollard?
want to go?
Pollard NFC Championship potential.
Do we want to grab Dak?
don't
Is
hate
that
Dak.
too much?
Dak,
Yeah.
yeah, right.
Because we need a
Lamar's the guy.
quarterback, or is that too
Yeah.
much? Do we need a running back?
Let's do it. Let's do Dak. Let's do Dak.
Let's
We'll
just like
find
hope
out.
that Pollard slides back
Thi-
to us. or
we'll
something.
find
This is a
one-off.
Justice Hill team. This is a Justice Hill team.
This is a Justice Hill. This is a Dalvin Cook team, maybe even.
Okay.
Nope, refuse.
Douche.
This is a Trey
Yeah,
Lance team.
it's difficult with JSN. I just put it this way: his rookie season was good, not bad, but bad, not good.
Exactly.
Like,
I just think like anytime I'm critical of it in any way and just be like,
People
you know,
get
like
mad.
he was touted, you know, like it's like fellas, like he kind of sucked this year. Like just calling it what it is. And it's like people are like, oh, what were you expecting an all-pro season? No, but I was expecting 800 yards. Like, God, he played a damn near every game.
Yeah, I mean, like, how many did Lamb have? In
like
his
at
rookie
least
season?
if
Yeah,
you're
go
if you're
for it.
buried behind Lockett and Metcalf, like run half the team's routes and command 28% targets
Yeah.
per route run or something. You know what I mean? Like we need something to point to here.
Don't get me wrong, the usage was rough, like low ADA, like a lot of like gadgety stuff too that they were.
Yeah,
trying to
dude,
do
he
with
was
him.
Rondell Moore for like 8
Yeah.
games this year.
And I like Waldron too. I don't think Waldron's awful, so it was just like very confusing the whole thing. But
So
I
for
think
rough,
I think it's
benching
fair
that
to be
fucking
underwhelmed.
Pollard
That's
falls
all
back
I'm
to
trying to
there.
say. It's fair to be underwhelmed to just adjust expectations now that you know you were hoping that he was going to be a top 12 dynasty wide receiver at this time, and he's much more of a top 24.
I mean, we got to call a spade a spade. CeeDee Lamb had 935 receiving yards without Dak for 75% of the season, playing next to Amari Cooper and Michael Gallup.
And good
like,
Gallup.
we have to contest.
Good
Yeah,
Gallup,
good
yeah.
Gallup, good Gallup, good Gallup.
And Schultz too.
Yeah, like you're way more mouths to feed, way worse quarterback play with Dak being on the fence for that long, because I think he only played 4.5 games because he got injured against the Giants. Obviously that ankle injury.
Okay,
But
let me
doing
ask
that-
you guys this: do we want to?
Andy Dalton.
we're in a rough spot in terms of like how we build out a 49ers Super Bowl.
Cooks has
We
to
have
be one of
no
them, right?
other 49ers to build around.
We're gonna need a lot of. We're almost.
I
Gonna
think
need
we
like
should take
4
dibs
Ravens.
here, dude. Like I think we should. Like we need somebody to, but like it's hard because we have too many NFC players. Like I don't know.
Let's go. Let's just go Cooks to be safe and see what this guy does. I'm open to the Gibbs thing. I'm open to because from here we can honestly build like this is honestly one of those builds where I would have like 4 different Super Bowl matchups because now we can have Dak versus we can go Dak versus the Ravens or an AFC team, and we can go Ravens versus Dallas or San Fran.
Yeah. The problem is we have no more San Fran players to pick outside of like Joe.
Yeah, that's what my issue is with the San Fran thing is like we're kind of just fucked in San Fran situations here.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully Kittle's the guy you need against the Cowboys, and the Cowboys win hypothetically here.
So
any vibes on Achan here?
Well, I mean, guaranteed to play Baltimore round 2.
Ravens, yeah.
Is the problem there.
Could go up Ferguson.
Could go Rams. Is Kyron there?
No, we can't go NFC again.
Fuck you, right?
I think I'd be fine taking A-Chain, to be honest. Still,
yeah,
just getting the weeks out of them. We won't have any running backs in round 1, right? So we're gonna need a nuts week out of a running back, even if we only got 1 round out of him.
Need a 50 piece out of Achan here.
Yeah, this is kind of a min cash looking team, but
yeah,
that was. Let's think through this.
Okay.
Yeah,
how many more Ravens are there that are like decent here? We can go.
I mean,
Hill,
Andrews.
Need to go Andrews on our next pick. Andrews is our next pick.
This guy might take Andrews here, though, is the only problem because I saw him take Likely and Edwards.
Hopefully he doesn't.
He might take Andrews specifically because he's
in our chat
kind
too.
of 5 nuts.
Is he?
He is.
Oh, great.
He's going 49ers Ravens, so he's going to try and 5 nuts for
screwed.
Andrews here. I imagine.
Dog pound, don't do it.
Come on, take your one off Puka Nacua or whoever's on the board.
Also, it just so happened when we started building a Niners Ravens that somebody in the chat was also doing so.
Yeah.
That's just unlucky.
Well, this guy's name is Fantasy Dog Pound, and he's betting on the Browns to lose to the Texans in the round 1. Is that what's happening here?
Yeah, I don't think that he is a Browns fan, though.
I guess, but who's putting Dog Pound in their name that isn't a Browns fan?
He's a dog.
Big dog.
Okay, so I knew he was going to do it, for fuck's sakes.
This team is cooked.
No,
we could still.
We're gonna go Ferguson. We're gonna land this plane, Danny. We're gonna go Ferguson.
Yeah, we gotta go Ferguson. Ferguson, and we need a running back on this team too. So probably Ferguson and then Beckham, and then hope that one of Justice or Dowdle falls to us.
Yeah,
I like that call.
Hear me out. What are your guys' thoughts on the AJ Brown depressed cost here?
And we can't do it. We have too much NFC right now. This is min cash city if we take AJ Brown.
Yeah, you're right.
So we're going.
Why is Devontae Smith going over AJ?
No, that's weird. So Ferg. So let me. I'm just trying to think through what our Super Bowl scenarios are here.
Okay,
so
we have
7, 8, 9, 10. We have 4 more picks left. Probably 3 of them need to be Ravens, if I'm being real. All right, so we're gonna go. I say OBJ, and we pray that Hill comes back, or what?
Yeah, it's probably what we gotta do. We have Dowdle as a fallback if need be.
And then we could convince ourselves that Dowdle.
I actually think we should go with both Dowdle and Justice, to be honest.
I don't mind that at all.
That AJ Brown value.
This is the tough thing at running back with this team is that if we only get 1 game or 2 games out of Achan, like we might not have enough firepower to get the team to the Super Bowl.
That's very.
By the way,
off Justice Hill to come out and
we'll need a pop off Justice Hill game for sure.
By the way, Peanut Butter, I understand he did wipe his Instagram and deactivated his Twitter, but at the same time, anytime I can get AJ Brown at 39th overall, I'm going to be doing it.
Dude,
that's kind of where I'm at with it.
I love my wide receivers to be divas, bro. Fucking cause a ruckus, my boy. It's crazy though, because like he loves Jalen Hurts. Like they're like, remember when like that trade got announced?
Homies, yeah, they're literally homies, dude. I come from a team that my wide receivers are very humble, like great in the community, never do anything wrong type of guys, and it's weird because like the teams I grew up watching and hearing about because of our success with them is like when we had a guy like that, Keyshawn Johnson, like nobody liked it. on our team. It's like I love having Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. Like Chris Godwin's wife putting Todd Bowles on blast is the closest thing that any Buccaneers wide receiver not named Antonio Brown has done negatively towards the team in the entire time I've been watching this football team.
That's hilarious, dude. I hate Bulls, but I mean, you
I
guys.
will actually.
What are the vibes on the Bucks
angry
right now?
Mike Evans ain't going anywhere, but I will be physically angry if he does.
So this is going to be
No.
Justice.
Got to
Yeah.
be Justice, yeah.
Gotta be.
Now you could talk me into Waddle, but I don't know in terms of our playoff scenarios.
We
here.
could
Okay,
field
so we
the
have
Super Bowl
3
now.
Ravens,
Yeah, we could field the Super
not
Bowl.
49ers. We can field a
Cowboys, Ravens.
Cowboys.
I think we gave up on the 49ers, if I'm keeping it a buck here. We're just hoping that Kittle gives us like NFC Championship all the way to the championship
I mean,
game appeal.
last
The
time he played
Cowboys
the-
and Niners aren't going to play each other until the championship anyway. So
I mean, last time he
Do-
played the Cowboys, he had 3 touchdowns. So
Do we go Waddle here or no? We could go run.
I
We could go
don't think
random
so.
one-off running
No.
back.
I don't think we go Waddle here. I think I would rather go
Ford.
Bateman or Dowdle here and grab one more Ravens
Or
or Cowboys
Ford.
player after.
Let's go Ford. Let's go
I
Ford.
like Ford.
Little
All right, yeah.
AFC
We kind of need the appeal
'Cause
of more.
Texans round 1.
Look, we got a lot of outs here, fellas. All right, just
None of them are really good, but
no, we
we
don't
got a
have
lot.
many outs.
Where are you at with Achane in terms of dynasty value?
I really like him. I don't have him. I did something similar like you guys did the redraft. I put him 7th. I did like a tier list today. I put him 7th, behind Laporta, in front of I believe Zay Flowers maybe. But I like him. Like it just seems like we're in the age of running backs. Like there's no bell cows. Everybody's small. I don't really mind. I get like the inconsistency, and it was like, all right, a lot of his production came in like that 50-point game, but RB5 in points per game next to Mostert, who scored 20 touchdowns. Like if he's gone or washed next year in McDaniel offense, I feel pretty good about him.
Funny you mentioned that because he actually, when we did our rookie draft, redraft, if you will, he ended up getting at the 107. So
107, yeah.
HN at 107.
Yeah. What
for
about
us.
what among other running backs? Like, do you view Achane as greater than, less than, equal to Travis Etienne, Jonathan Taylor, guys like that? Because like those guys are
That is a
way
tough
traditional
question.
projections, right? But they're 24, 25 years old, not 22 years old.
Yeah, I'd have to sit down and do them. I think I'd probably prefer Achane to them.
Yeah. Okay. Because
Probably would.
that's pretty much where you're at with it. It's like the top 3 young guys, Christian McCaffrey, and then Achane probably finds his way into the 5 to 7 conversation at running back, depending on what you think of those other guys.
I got one for you. Okay, we'll make the pick first.
Yeah. What should we do? I think it's too many backs if we go Dowdle, to be honest. I don't like building 4
Bateman?
running back teams.
Bateman?
Bateman's gone.
Is he?
I'd be down for a Schoonmaker, Tolbert, Turpin here.
Do we want to go
Turpin or Schoonmaker? What do you got, Danny?
Go
Tolbert.
Turpin.
I like Tolbert the most, but Turpin over Schoonmaker.
Oh, no. And
Oh.
Dowdle. Welcome.
We're cool with Dowdle.
That's fine by me. That's fine by me. We'll hit the
I
nuts
think the
in round
concern,
1.
the thing I have with Turpin is like, how does he get there in the Super Bowl? The answer is he returns a kick.
Yeah.
That would be the answer. It's like he gets 6
Or
points.
he gets
and
an end
return a
around.
kick.
Or he gets an end around because he's
End around or return a
for us,
kick. That's why I'm like, I feel like that's more likely than Jalen Tolbert having a game.
All right, look, we swung for the
Tolbert
fences on
been pretty
49ers
decent.
Ravens. That one's not the prettiest of all time. Happens to the best of us.
This will be my last one probably here, but we can rip this one more time here.
Okay. By the way, so Ron, the other question. So Corey mentioned, JT, ETN, Rashad White. They'd be like the next guys in that area. Where are you at with Achane versus Kyron? Because that's the one I struggled the most.
Yeah, that
with.
was the other guy that I forgot to mention. I knew there was another person in that area.
I'm going to be honest. I know this is going to seem crazy, but I don't think that it's all that close between the two of them. I probably have Achane.
Really, eh?
Yeah.
So
I just think he's a better player.
That's true, but like if I told you I have a crystal ball into the future and Kyron Williams will be the bell cow running back for the Rams for the next 2 seasons, the remainder of his rookie contract, what would you still say the same answer?
Probably not. I'd probably go Kyron, but I just think it's tough.
More volatility.
Yeah, I think there's more volatility. I think McVay kind of falls in and out of favor with a lot of these guys, and then on top of that, I don't know. I'm not a big injury guy, but I do know he has like a pretty scary ankle injury history that like kept him out this year, and like it's
So what you're
brutal
saying
thing.
is falling in and out of love with guys, ankle injury history. It's Zach Evans' season next year.
I would personally love it.
That would
'cause
be funny
much
as hell.
I-
I'm not gonna lie. That would be really funny.
Not for my Kyron Williams exposure in Dynasty. I was able to get so in a lot of leagues, him and Puka were like the combo I would always get from my competing teams, right? So there was one trade specifically that had both Achan and Kyron involved. Competing team got Puka Nakua and Kyron Williams in exchange for Jerry Jeudy, Devon Achan, and a 2025 mid to late 2. At the time, obviously, I'm like nervous. Obviously, this was when Kyron Williams got hurt. Achan went onto the scene. I'm like, ooh, like, did I lose this trade? And I mean, like, looking back, those guys led me to the championship. And funny, we mentioned JSN earlier. The only share of JSN I have in Dynasty was the only team that I had that made the championship and lost.
Oh,
JSN is just a losing bet, you know?
Well, I made 7 championships and I won 6 out of 7. The 7th one was the one I had JSN.
Was Kyron on the trade that me and you did, Ron? He
Yeah.
was, right?
it was.
Yeah, the heat seeker that it looks like I might have gotten raked over the coals on. I don't know.
Hey, Ron.
CJ Stroud, Bijan, and Kyron Williams for Justin Jefferson, 2 1s and 2 2s. People like bowed at my feet for that trade initially.
Purdy 101, baby.
Purdy
Yeah,
101.
people did not like my side of that deal.
No, they didn't. But I would say, like, dude, Stroud is worth Justin Jefferson at the very least, if not Jefferson in the 2 2s, potentially.
By the way, so Brock said it was
So now
with
we
me.
can't get Purdy. That's so dumb. So now we can't get 49ers or Ravens here. Like that's brutal.
We could get 49ers. We just build the AFC quarterback. Let's take Debo
I'm actually down
and
for that. I'm down
Ayuk
for
here.
that. So let's go Debo Ayuk. Yeah.
Any chance we get Mahomes falling back?
Well, I think our best case scenario, like, see, here's the tough thing is like our only option really in the AFC is going to be to go with the Chiefs. No, like we
or
like, we're not gonna
Browns.
Yeah, like
We'll see what comes back
I don't know.
around
I think
18.
Chiefs and 49ers
Stroud.
is going to be so mega chalk that I like don't even want to draft it.
Really?
yeah,
dude,
like I
people
think
are
it's just such a
souring
common
on the
combo.
Chiefs. I feel like people don't like the Chiefs at all.
Yeah, but like
feel
think
like-
of
I
how
feel
the
like the Bills,
ADPs
49ers
line up.
will be
Like
almost
everybody
more.
that stacks teams
That's
is
true.
going to like pivot to Chiefs 49ers.
Oh yeah. By the way, so Brock, yeah, it was with you. I was really scared how that was materializing when Devon Achan had those first couple games, and that was like coinciding when Kyron missed his time and was very inefficient at the start of the year. And obviously, like looking back, revisionist, Puka Nakua, 1,500 near yard wide receiver, and Kyron Williams doing what he did down the stretch. I mean, I don't make the championship game if I don't make the trade.
Put one out for Judy, man. Holy shit,
Dude,
Holy shit. I think he just sucks.
One of my
I think he
biggest
just sucks.
losses.
I've never once seen this guy make a play. I've never once in my life.
I can't defend
I
him
put out a
anymore.
video this offseason where I was like giving risk ratings to players, and it's actually like the second highest viewed video on this channel. Like a lot of people really liked it. And my like risk evaluation of Jerry Jeudy was he's either going to be a league winner or he's going to be one of the biggest busts in fantasy. That was literally, I'm like, he's going to suck ass because he's not a good player, or he's going to be a huge league winner.
Big news for Dynasty. So you know how we're talking about Quinshon Judkins going to Ohio State earlier?
Henderson, please tell me he declared.
He's returning for his senior season.
No.
Shut the fuck up.
I'm not trolling.
No.
Jordan retweeted it.
Oh my God, dude.
Bro.
What are we doing, man?
All right. Hey, it was a
Dogbound,
long
please.
road before we got here, but everybody that ripped on me early on in the summer, in June of last year, I put out that Trey Benson was RB1 in the 2024 class, and we're here. Trey Benson's RB1 in the 2024 class.
Dog pound. Thank you. All right. Mahomes, Rice, bang, bang, bang.
Yeah, I'm with that.
Yeah.
Holy.
So we got to do.
Dude, that
What
is
a coup.
insane.
What a coup.
I guess he hasn't been able to stay healthy.
Judkins Henderson backfield.
I guess he hasn't been able to stay healthy, so like
it makes sense.
maybe
it makes sense.
But I don't know. He would have to have like I don't know. Maybe he has as like a 5-star. He has the good graces of scouts and can kind of fit like like one of those Georgia backs like Swift or Michelle, where
it
didn't
could
put
be
up
like
a ton of volume, but it's like
it could be like a
that he can
Jacobs
be.
Damian Harris situation, or
Yeah,
hell like.
yeah.
Or what if Judkins has like a where he goes back to school instead of coming out in 25 too? Like because they're splitting a backfield, Judkins goes to the committee and they're like, you're not going to get top capital, so that he wants to be alone in the backfield in 25. So I don't know.
Dude,
not a great situation for a lot of people.
What a weird move
involved.
for Judkins. I felt like Ole Miss has been like dominating the transfer portal and shit.
Yeah,
dude,
dude,
they're
I
gonna
don't
be
know.
really
Like,
good.
Yeah, I actually
why
really like
transfer
it
out
as
of
a
that?
Jackson Dart Debbie manager that Judkins is gone, because I hope that they open up the offense a little bit more, because Dart literally had a couple games where he would go like 16 of 20, 350 yards and 3 touchdowns. I'm like, dude, literally let the guy throw.
By the way,
Yeah,
this
they're
is
gonna come out in wing T and just smash mouth football over there, Ohio State.
this is
I guess they have like freshmen coming in. Oh, Will
Uh,
Howard. Will
yeah.
Howard
Yeah,
sucks,
Will Howard's
man.
dust.
he's
Sucks.
bad. He's bad. By the way, is this?
I don't know why Dylan Gabriel didn't go there. That's the one guy that I was like, why wouldn't you go to Ohio
Oregon's
State?
going to be good.
Oregon is going to be good
They're
because
going to be
they got fucking Evan Stewart today too.
Yes.
The
No, they're gonna
Dante
be good.
Moore transfer is what confuses me about Oregon, though. I don't know
Yeah, I
why
didn't
you get
get that
Gabriel.
either.
Like, why would Moore move from UCLA if he's like, I guess what, he didn't want to play? No, I think that he got beat out by
Pac-12 got
somebody
demolished.
at that spot.
Well,
Yeah.
Pac-12 got demolished, right? So
Odds that
makes
Arch
sense.
just is like, well, I could go to Ohio State and start right now.
Dude, I would love
I don't
for
want
that.
it to happen though. I don't want it to happen. Can Quinn just
Oh,
get
yeah.
out? Can Quinn leave? Like, you guys take Quinn back. Go back to
Real-
Ohio State.
Real talk, Ron. I've been talking about it with Corey, but like Ohio State actually has no excuses not to beat us this year. Real talk. If Michigan beats Ohio
do you
State
mean?
this year, the state of Ohio will be on fire.
Dude,
Like,
if
I'm telling
Michigan
you.
still has JJ McCarthy, how can you say that?
I mean, fair, but like,
I mean, JJ McCarthy is a game manager, so
he's good.
I know, but he's
player.
better than Will Howard.
yeah,
Easily.
Will Howard is fucking dusty as hell.
Dog shit.
Do we take the falling AJ here?
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
so.
good
Might have to,
falling
yeah.
AJ value.
Him and Swift,
No running
maybe?
backs.
Yeah, we got to get a running back for
Let's
sure.
go Brown
so-
Swift. Do you guys like that?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
sure.
like that.
Yeah, I dig it. This might actually have to be an Elijah Mitchell, Clyde Edwards-Helaire pairing at running back.
Yeah, we'll
too.
have to probably duo running back from each team, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, you'll never see me turn down Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
But we will have to load up more on Chiefs too, because we got to squeak. Like, we can squeak a Chiefs 49ers, Chiefs 49ers, or a Chiefs Eagles based on this team construction right now.
Yeah.
So we're probably going to need 4
Yep.
Chiefs.
Agreed. Dan Lanning, great coach. Oregon's going to be a house next. No, I completely agree. I think Oregon's going to.
I still don't understand why Dylan Gabriel didn't go to Ohio State though. Like, why that to me that just made way too much sense. I actually thought, like, I was about to like just be like, dude, why doesn't Dylan Gabriel go to Ohio State? He has a chance to be a pretty decent prospect next year.
It's very funny.
Yeah,
Did you
man.
guys see Dan Lanning? Like, there was all the reports of him being in Tuscaloosa or whatever, and he literally went on the McAfee show just to be like, I am
I'm
in
staying.
Oregon. Like, this is my office. Like, recruits, please don't leave me. Like, you put like a video out on Twitter and everything too. I think like that should
Such a good
Ron,
marketing
you
move
gotta
by him.
highlight Dick Cheese's comment, by the way, because he wants a shout out and his name is Dick Cheese. I don't know if this is Dick Cheese Accumulator because that might be a separate person.
If
but,
there's 2 Dick Cheeses,
There's no shot. There's 2 Dick
there's
Cheeses
multiple
in our
Dick
audience, but
Cheeses.
Shout out to Dick Cheese for winning his fantasy Super Bowl here.
No, one of the funniest things on the channel to this day is the first time we read out Dick Cheese Accumulator's name. Like what?
I think
like,
Travis ran out of eligibility. Jordan Travis.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
guy's asking.
He's a redshirt
Yeah, he's
senior,
out of
right?
eligibility. This is his 6th season, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, next year's 2020 quarterback class is going to be really interesting because it's kind of like this year's wide receiver class was, outside of Harrison and a couple other guys. It's like there could be like a lot of really good quarterbacks next year, or there could be none.
Oh,
like
yeah.
Drew Aller, Quinn Ewers. If JJ,
I think
goes
JJ's
back,
coming back.
Yeah,
I
if
think he
JJ
is.
goes back, Dylan Gabriel, Shadur Sanders, Jackson Dart, a number of those guys, I could see all of them being useless.
DJ
and I could see all
Uiagalelei?
of them being pretty good.
I'm still holding out hope on DJ
God, bro.
Uiagalelei, dude.
I think
kinda like
Shadur
him.
will be QB1 in next year's class, to be honest.
Could be.
Shador?
Yeah. Could
Yeah.
be.
I
mean, you
wish
take the falling
I
value
was
on
paying
Hurts.
attention.
Do we want to double elite QB it?
We might have to.
I'm fine
Hurts,
with Hurts. I'm fine with that.
42?
Because
Yeah,
like,
let's go.
Yeah, I actually don't
dude,
mind
what if
that.
Chiefs dud in the snow and like you need a Hurts to get you through?
Yeah, we're Galbraining it.
So Hurts.
We gotta hammer Chiefs now, though.
This has to
I
be a
don't-
Chief.
I was gonna
I
say
think
like
so, yeah, because we need to hammer out the Chiefs so
Our
that
last
we can
two
hit
picks
the
could be
nuts and-
Chiefs.
yeah, I was gonna say well, why not go Nico here and then finish out with a Chief and a 49er? No.
No. We need 2
Or 2
Chiefs
Chiefs.
here. We need a
I-
Chief here. Trust me. We need a Chief
Fair.
here for sure.
All right, let's go Watson then.
Yeah, I'm down.
Because the reason we need a Chief here is because we have 3 Eagles and 2 49ers. So we're going to be rolling a 5 stack to the Super Bowl if we had taken Nico Collins there. And like Chiefs and 49ers and Chiefs and Eagles are going to be common pairings. Like we need more than just like 5
5.
players.
That's
That's
fair.
fair.
Like how much really does Nico Collins help our lineup when we have the projections of AJ Brown and Rashee Rice and shit in the first round to get us through with Debo and Ayuk on bye?
This probably has to be Clyde. You have 9 and 10. It probably has to be Clyde, and then
we probably need somebody to help us get through round 1 a little bit.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
wouldn't
like, a
be
one-off
opposed to
running back.
Montgomery if he slid, but I don't think he will.
dude, I don't even.
We
mind
could grab
who.
Ford here if he slides too.
Yeah.
I
I'm
like that too. I like
Well,
that too.
that's what I was
Ford
gonna say.
slide, maybe.
That's why I was gonna say I kind of liked going with Clyde on this turn. I mean, I guess Chiefs work there too. I was gonna say that's why I was kind of going for Nico, but
I know it's just tough because
can we go
like,
Mitchell?
It would have
and
had if it was gonna be a
Hilaire?
one-off. It was gonna have to be a running back there.
Can we go Mitchell Hilaire?
We're cutting it thin. We could.
yeah, we're gonna be cutting it thin in round 1
Fair.
without Debo and Ayuk if we do that.
But like, what other? I mean, I guess Najee, but
Like we have the quarterbacks to be able to carry our deficiencies at running back. So I think I'm fine kind of just going skinny with Swift and Hilaire.
I'm cool with it.
Dude, I don't even mind.
Or Ford. I guess Ford just went probably, but
I don't even mind Aaron Jones or Singletary.
Aaron Jones would be not a horrible leverage play against the Cowboys because we
Cowboys.
stacked up the other 2 NFC contenders.
And then theoretically here, you could potentially get an Eagles home game if the Rams beat the
Actually,
Lions
it would
and
probably make
Packers
more
beat them.
sense to go Singletary though, because we only have the Chiefs on the AFC side of the
Yeah, I
equation.
think that. The problem there is you're getting a Browns matchup in round 1, which isn't really ideal, but like, I don't.
Singletary's kind of just been like a workhorse though. It hasn't really mattered who he's
Fair.
been playing against.
Fair, I'm cool with it. Cool with
This
it.
is gonna sound crazy. I only like Jones more just because of the out that he could see the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. I know that that's crazy. Because then we would have 4 Chiefs and 1 Green Bay, but that is definitely out there. I'll say.
Yeah, I'm cool with it too.
I don't know. We'll see.
Well, I was gonna say too, if you take Aaron Jones, then you have the hypothetical that the Eagles get a home playoff game in the second round.
Versus the Packers.
It would be Eagles versus Rams, and then Niners versus Packers.
Yeah.
So
Aaron
that'd
Jones
be
playing?
something to play for.
Clear for wild card rounds.
Yeah, he'll
huh?
play. He'll play.
Yeah, no, we don't want Aaron Jones here. Why would we want Aaron Jones?
Why not?
Get-
My only thing.
We already
I guess
have
why
2
would we
NFC
want
teams.
Singletary? But like, why? Like, if we're
Hilaire
going
has
for
to be
We
Super
one of
could
Bowl,
hear me out. Hear me out. We could do the
What?
Najee Snow game too.
I dig that. I do.
I would actually
I'm good
prefer
for
that.
Najee. Let's do
Dude,
Najee. then.
Najee Snow game.
Hear me out too. If the Steelers were to upset the Bills, which would ruin my portfolio, but if that were to happen,
It
then
would
you
be
get
very
Steelers
good
versus
leverage against
Ravens
the
round
Bills.
2. Steelers versus Ravens round 2. What are the odds that the Steelers muddy the game up, upset the Ravens?
We are
And then we got
galaxy
Chiefs Steelers in the
braining
AFC
into
chip.
fucking nobody's business right now.
I don't know what I would like if the Steelers made the AFC Championship. I might have to shave my head. Like genuinely, I might have to shave my head.
Yeah.
In fact, if the Steelers do make the AFC Championship, I will shave my head and record it. Like,
Yeah, that'll be funny.
man,
Yeah,
quality.
the Packers, as far as 7 seeds are concerned, definitely have a better chance of making
Oh,
it
for sure.
than the Steelers. But I kind of like the idea of Najee. It's kind of funny.
Well, I know all the
because
sharps.
he'll be kind of like low owned, whatever.
All
Yeah,
the
if
sharps
he's the
can
guy
score
you need because he
49ers
punches
KC.
in 2 or whatever, that would be kind of good way to get the Ayuk and Debo through.
Yeah, Brock, that's a good disclaimer. On stream, I will shave my head if the Steelers make the AFC Championship.
Mason Rudolph to the Super. Yeah, so Kenny Pickett is what in Dynasty? Useless completely? Like they're just like not starting him?
Dude, I can't wrap my head around the whole Mason Rudolph thing,
Well,
but
We were getting some backlash because I think it was Penix fell to us the Steelers at 23 in the mock draft.
I didn't
that we
notice a
did
lot of
recently.
backlash on that pick, to be honest.
So-
I think
some-
a lot of people liked it.
Some people were like, "Oh, another overage quarterback," and it's like, okay, well, what do you suggest the Steelers do at quarterback next year? This is a team that wants to compete. Like,
Yeah. I mean, I probably wouldn't pick another overage quarterback either.
Oh, I
but
wouldn't
it was
either,
a
but-
predictive mock. Like I was like,
Yeah.
if Penix is on the board, like I could see the Steelers really liking his game.
completely agree. By the way, we were talking, Ron, how funny it is. Like, If you actually play for a min cash in this contest just to fucking make $20 on your 25, it's pretty funny.
I love it.
People do it.
Hey, man.
The Gauntlet 2 is it's not a 1 advances, right? It's a 2 advances.
2. 1
Two
first and
advance,
second.
yeah.
Yeah, but one of the mittens was, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They snuck
Yeah.
it in on one of the mittens.
That was kind of sneaky. I don't know why they were doing that.
I'm probably gonna fire 1 or 2 more. Are you out of here, Bush?
I got a
down.
heart out, yeah. So I gotta pop out of here. But
I'm down, Ronnie. I'm down.
All right, bet. Sounds good.
All right.
All right, I'll talk to you boys later, and I might I'll hit you up after too, Ron, with what Ian says about what we were talking
Yeah,
about.
100%.
Pre-stream. Anyways, all right, take it easy, fellas.
Take it easy,
All right,
brother.
I'll see you, buddy.
Let's go. Let's
All
go.
right, we'll hop in. We'll hop in another 1 or 2.
Hey,
see
the
what's
Najee
popping.
snow game is happening.
Oh, I'll be waiting on it.
Hey, man, that might be one of the most funny hypothetical scenarios that could happen this weekend. Is
And then in this next draft, we'll create leverage off of that. And we'll go with the Warren snow game to even further the galaxy brain.
you just have like the shady McCoy out where it's like the efficient back that makes people miss, like maybe catches a couple dump offs and takes it in the snow.
Dude, how about Brees in that snow game last weekend, dude?
Bro,
Brees was going crazy.
I swear every running back that gets drafted to the NFL, they live for at least one snow game in their career. Like that's the thing that they're hoping for. If they get a snow game, they know they're getting the rock 30, 35 times and they're going to make some magic.
Dude, those Shady McCoy snow games, like
Legendary.
I could watch back Shady McCoy snow highlights.
Oh, dude, he's the only one that was actually moving full speed. Everybody else, you could see was getting stuck. And it's funny because like I want to remember Shady for that. And now he's on that bullshit talk show where he just calls Dak ass and gets ratings for it. Like, I mean, kudos. Like, go get your bag, man. Like, I'm always gonna advocate for players getting their bag, but you could just tell when it's like fake narratives that they're forming just to like have engagement.
Yeah, and you were talking. I love Shane Gillis. He grew up in Pennsylvania area, which is where LaShawn McCoy did. And I don't know if you know, like he played tackle at Army for like a week or two, and then he quit. Shane
I remember
Gillis,
that story.
He apparently grew up and had like sleepovers with LaShawn McCoy growing up because they used to like play football together. Wow, CD first. All right, so I guess we'll go McCaffrey.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we're up in the CMC exposure. I have heard people talking about experimenting with Lamb at 101 because obviously you're getting the extra week of output. And for me personally, it's still CMC because I just view the Niners at this point as a tier above the Cowboys, even as a Cowboys fan. But if you're viewing these guys as, let's just say the Niners have a 55%, 60% advantage versus the Cowboys 40-45, at that point, you may as well take the extra week of output, right?
Yeah. 100%. Especially if
you're
Lamb's gonna fucking
Gillis.
drop 30. Yeah, Gillis. Apparently, he bumped into LaShawn McCoy at the Super Bowl last year, and LaShawn McCoy big timed him. He was like, "Oh, what's up, man? Like, remember me?" He big time Shane, which is so fucking funny.
It's what that reminds me of because you mentioned like sleepovers and shit. It reminds me, have you ever seen those YouTube videos where somebody will like pretend like they known a Twitch streamer from a while ago and they'll donate like, hey, you remember back in middle school we used to have like tickle time at sleepovers and stuff. It's like, no, like Shane Gillis like actually knew this guy back in the day and LaShawn just big times him.
It's crazy, dude. It's actually hilarious, dude. Like Jersey ball, like not great, but like Pennsylvania, like they churn out guys. Like I know Swift is like from around here, and like it was huge when he committed to Georgia. A lot of people thought that he was going to stay and go to like Penn State or some shit.
State. Yeah, Penn State's the typical one. I mean, I know Micah Parsons is a Pennsylvania guy, so people have always made the rumors like, oh, well, if the Cowboys don't pay him top dollar, which by the way, -% that actually happens. Like this guy's gonna make $40+ million when he signs. Like we just know it's gonna happen. But like, oh, like what if he comes to the Eagles? What if he goes to the Steelers? It's like, can we not? Like, when does a player like Micah Parsons actually become available on the market? Like,
never.
Amen. But we're here at Christian McCaffrey. Oh, that would have been nice. Would have been nice.
We could. No, we can't do the Flowers thing.
Yeah, we're
probably has to be. You could talk me into Tyreek.
I don't mind.
Mahomes
I don't mind. I don't mind building Cowboys too because you're playing for the NFC Championship there. If McCaffrey gets you over the top, but I'll let you make this pick.
I'm gonna go Tyreek and see what we can go with here. I mean, it's not. I mean, it's thin. Don't get me wrong.
Tua's got a big depressed cost too. Like he's 44 ADP here.
Oh yeah, he is cheap.
Oh yeah.
All right, so what
This guy
quarterbacks
probably
are
goes
available
Pollard,
here?
right?
What can we build through?
Wow, Amon-Ra.
AFC is brutal.
I would say Tua's got to be the number one. And then if you're playing Niners, the two main teams you want to play would be the Lions and the Cowboys because they wouldn't play until the NFC Championship.
You want to
So
go Pollard or Kyron here is kind of where I'm at.
I like
Probably.
Pollard because Kyron's going to play in the second round.
Yeah, I'm down for Pollard because now we can just start setting up. I mean, like it doesn't feel great to set up Miami Super Bowls. Don't get me wrong, but Miami versus San Fran and then Miami versus Dallas are both, things.
They get through an ugly game against KC. Yeah, it's tough to see them going on the road and being Baltimore after what happened to them on the road against Baltimore a couple weeks ago. But I mean, we've seen multiple times redemption stories where if a team gets absolutely lit up one week, like it's probably going to be a closer game the next time. And that's kind of what I keep falling back on the Cowboys. Like I favor the Niners because of what we saw on the on-field product. But I mean, these guys are professionals for a reason. They're top teams for a reason. Like you're not going to get embarrassed by the same team 2 times in a row.
Not to gas you up, man, but I would feel really good about the fact that like the Niners game was a wake up call, dude. Like, if you filter Dak and CD like just like fantasy stats and you go like before week 5 and after week 5, like it is ridiculous. Like they just decided, all right, you know what? Like fuck all the bullshit. Like we're passing the ball. Dak locked in. Like that's when the Cowboys hit their stride because they got punched in the mouth by the Niners. So I think that they would love to sort of get back.
Dude, it's funny you mentioned that because that's one of the narratives I've been pushing really throughout the fantasy season is after that happened, like the Cowboys offense completely changed. Mike McCarthy changed up the philosophy. You're leaning on your number one wide receiver. Like the stats are, let me see if I can find it. I believe, okay, I found it. So CeeDee Lamb since week 6, that was the Cowboys bye week, I believe, right? Like right after they played the Niners since week 6. So we're talking about, what is that? A 10, 11 game sample size, 95 receptions, almost 1,400 total scrimmage yards, and 11 touchdowns.
Yeah.
In 11 games.
I like Cooks, and then we try and get one of the Miami running backs on the other side.
Love that call, and then hoping Tua falls back. I dig it.
Yep. But yeah, dude, it's insane. Like if you just like what CD did from that stretch was ridiculous.
Well, so for starters, mentioning that split. It's funny. I'm checking my messages with Brock because I messaged him this exact split. And obviously, you don't want to take, an 11 game pace and put it, what if this happens across 17? But if you were to do that for CD, it was actually like ridiculous what he was on. Like he was pacing. Let me see if I can find it.
I feel like a 2,000-yard season.
147 receptions.
Yeah.
2,129 scrimmage yards, 17 scrimmage touchdowns.
Yeah, that's insane.
Ridiculous. But that would be the thing with CD. If you genuinely think the Cowboys and the 49ers are on a similar level, even if you favor the 49ers, CD is going to be your 101 because you're getting the extra week and a guy that can just flat out outperform Christian McCaffrey in the playoffs. Like if you told me CD Lamb had one of the all-time fantasy playoffs and averaged 27 PPR points per game, like I can see him outscoring Christian McCaffrey.
No, 100%. I do find it crazy too. This was before I did the thing on Twitter where I would make the picks, dude. But when we grabbed Becton, like I wanted I wanted Lamb so bad there. Dude. Like him falling to 17 was even like far for where people kind of thought he was gonna go. Because I remember the Cowboys didn't trade up to make that pick, but like there was a lot of like chatter of like what's gonna happen. Like is somebody gonna trade up for Lamb?
Dude,
Rager over Jefferson.
Amen, bro. Like we were live for the draft. So I was wearing my DeMarcus Ware Cowboys jersey. We were live on the channel. That was the first year we were running the channel, right? So our first video was late March 2020 after my 20th birthday. And the NFL draft obviously was in April. So at that point, we probably were streaming to like 5 people in chat. We were having a good time just talking. And when the Cowboys actually picked CeeDee Lamb, I clipped it and I'll send you the clip afterwards after we're done streaming. But it's just me going ballistic. Like I couldn't believe it. I thought we were taking Chase on. I thought we were going defense. Obviously, the 2020 Cowboys defense, one of the historically bad defenses of all time. I was scared that they weren't going to go with best player available, and sure enough, they ended up making my wishes true and taking the first team All-Pro wide receiver.
Yeah, I'm not sure who I thought they might have taken there, but I remember like it was like they have so many wide receivers. Like there's no way they take Lamb there.
And by the way, so many wide receivers was just Gallup and Cooper. Like that was before people
Yeah.
realized, oh, hey, 11 personnel exists. Yeah, it was a wild time, man. It was a wild time.
Yeah, like I'm looking at that class. It's a fun class, man. Shout
Oh,
out,
yeah.
shout out Isaiah Wilson, man.
Dude, I still can't believe what happened there. Big physical tackle did he even like start a game before he got cut?
Dude, I think he started maybe a couple.
Fucking crazy.
Wow. So Titans was characterized by violations leading to minimal playing time, subsequent trade to the Dolphins, where he was released after 3 days because he refused the team's efforts to help him. Jeez, man. It's crazy how some of these dudes have like all the talent in the world and that's brutal, man.
Yeah, no,
Feel bad for him.
I do, and it's funny because not funny, obviously the scenario, but it's crazy. Sorry, there's a better word for it. You remember? I mean, you weren't there actually. When we had the Underdog meetup, and I was talking about it with Crocker, right? We were talking about like some of the guys back in the day because obviously he was with the Jets at the point. He was practicing with a lot of these guys, and we brought up the name. I think it was either Quentin Coples or it was Muhammad Wilkerson, or it was one of those Jets defensive linemen. And he was basically saying like,
Sheldon
dude,
Richardson.
Sheldon Rich, it was one of those guys, right? Because they went like 3 straight years of taking those guys.
Yeah.
And
Coples
I remember
is a menace, dude. He has like a branding like on his like shoulder here, and he's like 6'7", like 300 pounds.
Well, dude, I remember him saying like these guys were moving like athletically like linebackers. Like he couldn't believe how athletic these guys were. But it kind of like when you're in that position, he said it really shows you the perspective of what guys' goals actually are. Because in order to be a really good NFL player, great NFL player, you need the mindset like I need to make the Hall of Fame to feel like my career is justified. So a lot of guys, that's just simply not their goals. Their goals are, hey, like I lived in poverty throughout my life, got drafted in the NFL. Now I'm making millions to be able to get my family out of a bad spot. And it's, you know, who are we to say, oh, the biggest bust in NFL career history? You're a bust. I'm not a bust. I just made $8 million on my rookie contract when I needed this money throughout my life. You know what I mean? So it depends on the perspective of the player and what exactly their goals are in their career. And you need a certain mindset to be able to be great.
No, 100%. It's insane. I mean, just getting there is crazy.
Oh, yeah.
It's just like, I don't know, like the way that some of those guys move, man. Like remember what the hell was his name? Like Laron Landry or whatever that guy's name was. Just on the juice.
That guy was a freaking. I miss the steroid era of safeties. You just got these juice heads on the back end that were leading with their head every fucking hit. Like they were going crazy. Or like for example, he's like a bad spot in the Cowboys Twitter sphere, but like Dante Whitner. You remember Dante Whitner back in the day? The guy was 5'10", 215 pounds soaking wet, but he was just using every bit of his body to lay punishment on people. Like, dude, that was the vibe of safeties back then. It's just like, oh, I'm going to drive my head into a brick wall and not think twice about it.
Should we build out a second or a third NFC team? We have 4 Dolphins here. We have 2 Cowboys, 2 49ers. We could go like 2 something else if you wanted to here. We could kind of do whatever. We could kind of reach down to like Gallup or.
So the reason why I probably wouldn't on the NFC is because we already have basically the NFC Championship set, unless you want to go with guys that you think would be elite one-offs. So like Reed would probably be my pivot there, even though we have Cowboys. You're assuming he gets one viable week there. Because I mean, like the San Francisco 49ers and Cowboys can't play each other.
Should we just take Andrews for the fun of it?
Let's do it.
Yeah, just one off Andrews. I don't know. I was looking at him. I was like, you know, I need some of this. I'm gonna have to fire some of these up and just hammer Andrews.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, if we're doing it right now, this would be the scenario where the Dolphins upset the Ravens, but it's a higher scoring game than people expected. Maybe the Dolphins are dominating from the passing perspective. Andrews catches a couple touchdowns. Like you can convince yourself of that scenario for sure.
100%. I'm trying to think through. I do remember those just like hitman safeties were fun. Like not Marion Barber, fucking it was like Dante Witherspoon or no. He used to play he played for like the old Redskins and like the Patriots teams. Like Mayweather or something was his name.
Brandon Merriweather.
Yeah, Brandon
Merriweather.
Merriweather. What
Um,
motherfucker, dude.
I mean, you got Harrison back then too, just an absolute freaking meathead. Rodney Harrison, like that guy was psychotic. Like back then, like if you were playing safety, you had to have a little bit of a psychotic factor to you.
Yeah.
And I mean,
Young
linebacker
Harrison
was the
Smith,
same
too.
way. Oh, dude, like just absolute headhunters, man. Absolute headhunters. Like even like when I was in high school, obviously it's dialed down, but even when I was in high school, it's like you did need like a sort of psychotic factor of like wanting to inflict punishment on people. I don't know how to describe it, man. It's like a part of that competitive
No.
nature you do need to play football, man. Like
No, especially to play like linebacker, safety, like where you're coming downhill and thumping dudes. Like I got some dudes in my high school where there's some screws missing with some of those boys.
I had 3 concussions in 2 years, so like
I know that's crazy, man. I got one bruised rib in football, and I was out of there. I was out of there.
Dude, my body went through the gulag, man. Like concussions, my shoulders are absolutely cooked now. Like I try to throw a football like full range of motion, and like I'll feel my shoulder restrict me because I dislocated my right shoulder like 3 separate times, sprained my MCL twice. You know, like you'll have things like pulled hamstrings. Like you'll get the whole assortment of injuries, especially with more physical positions.
Do you have any lean here between like we could go Dallas, Miami, San Fran, like random wide receiver. We got like Gallup. We got.
I really like the Tolbert leverage, man. I would prefer Tolbert to Gallup straight up.
Oh, he's taken.
He's pick before us. We could go Gallup then.
Gallup, yeah, fine. Yeah. We'll get leverage on Tolbert with our Gallup.
Hey man, dude, we just explained the opposite scenario. But the thing with Tolbert that really gets me impressed is he's obviously getting a limited snap share because they're really rotating that third wide receiver spot between Turpin, between Tolbert, between Gallup. But I mean, Gallup's snaps have been completely cut since they were at the beginning of the season. And Tolbert, when he's gotten the opportunity, has flashed some upside. Like I said, I was talking about in that Commanders game, big back shoulder play. Dak throws it, trusts him to get to that spot. Tolbert high points the pass. Like if Dak trusts you in the playoffs, that's a good enough quarterback to just get the ball in your vicinity to be able to make a big play. And Tolbert has come down with a couple of those big plays.
Yeah. Like I genuinely like do like have like, you know, in big spots, they've gone to Tolbert, which is what I found like very shocking just because like he was a complete 0 in year 1. And I didn't hate his profile from a number standpoint at all. But when you become a complete 0 like that, it's usually over. But I think we're both in agreement that, you know, I don't know, maybe like 18th round flyer next year, you know what I mean? But like he'll never have like a top 36 finish, even maybe that's like his ceiling. But in a contest like this, like he's perfect.
Like he's a guy that you're only going to be taking in best ball leagues. I'm not advocating go trade for him in Dynasty. I'm not advocating you should take him in every 15th round of your redraft league. Like no, like if you're in the 18th round of your best ball league and you have Cowboys correlation and you're hoping for a potential spike spot to make your lineup, like he's one of those guys that can easily pay off. I mean, it kind of reminds me of MVS a couple years ago where you don't rely upon him like overall, but big plays, you know. He's got the speed. He's got the verticality factor to his game to make plays on the boundary. I can absolutely see that from him.
Who the hell was the UDFA that you had me drafting for a second there on the Cowboys?
Dennis Houston. He started in week 1 though. So to be fair, like he had the opportunity. He just ended up being completely dog shit. But like if hear me out though, like if you were to say my 18th round best ball pick got starting snaps in week 1, like yeah, like you're hoping you would make the most of it.
Houston, out of Houston Baptist, like
like and he had some plays in training camp. You know, like obviously you can't really buy the hype there, but for the 18th round, like if I hear like if you want to take Jason Brownlee in the 18th round this year, I wouldn't have hated that. Like who cares? It's the 18th round, man.
Brownlee, you know? Brownlee. That's the thing that pissed me off so much about the Jets, dude. Is like the wide receivers that they were fielding at, so like Xavier Gibson and Jason Brownlee ran routes, bro. Like they ran a lot of routes between like 2 UDFA, like literally rookie undrafted free agents, like just insanity.
Oh yeah. Hear me out here. I'm gonna wait for Favorito in case he's in this draft. I have my way I want to play this. I think. Oh, do you want to risk it? Okay, we can't do it anyways. I was gonna say, do you want to go Lamar and Ayuk, but it would have been tough to get both the 1 seeds. Like it's probably got to be Purdy Ayuk.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Do you want Purdy Ayuk or probably Purdy Ayuk? Yeah.
Yeah, why not? Purdy, Ayuk, boom.
Because if you don't take a quarterback here, you're kind of screwed behind the 8 ball. Because otherwise, I mean, Kittle would also be in conversation. We were mentioning, so me and Flet and Lucas did a couple of drafters, and you have to draft a tight end there. And in that type of format, you want to take a guy like George Kittle instead of a Brandon Ayuk. But I mean, here, if it's both counting for the flexes, like give me Brandon Ayuk, he's got the upside to go.
Yeah.
7 catches, 123 yards, and 2 touchdowns.
With a tight end spot, you could definitely talk me into Kittle.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Brock saying you go where are you at? Like, if you're the Jets at 10, how do you feel about like a Bowers to the Jets? Because for me, I want Fashanu, I don't think they get to 10. So then it becomes like Latham
Fuaga,
versus
Latham.
Bowers.
I go Bowers in that spot. He's a player to
I
pass.
think I go Bowers too. Bowers
like,
probably over Odunze as well, just because I don't
agreed.
know. You can talk yourself into Bowers, help it out the line in some spots.
Well, I mean, the thing is too, what I keep coming back to is like just having the versatility that Bowers brings you would be really nice for your guys' offense, like you kind of said. Having him do some, jet sweep action, having him do some crossing action, very physical point of attack blocker. That was one of the things I noticed. Like you would think a 6'4", 240-pound tight end, like you're thinking, oh yeah, maybe it looks like the way Sam Laporta wins. And to be fair, I think Sam Laporta
recruit too, man. Like he was like 215 coming out of high school. Like,
oh yeah. Well, I mean, like Sam Laporta from a receiving perspective would be a fair comp for Brock, but the thing is like Brock has that Georgia DNA to him, and we were mentioning off camera about why me and Corey really like Ladd McConkey. The Georgia DNA is like clearly evident. Like you can tell guys that are coached to finish their blocks. You can tell guys that are coached to play with a physical mentality, and I mean Bowers and McConkey really evidence that Georgia mentality.
100%, which I would love it. I would love it, honestly.
Oh yeah.
Man. All right. So we got to build out an AFC side of the Super Bowl. We don't really have to just yet. I don't mind. How do you feel about like Cooper Gibbs? That's probably my
I was going to say Cooper Gibbs, Rice Pollard, some combination of those type of two would be where I'd lean here.
Let's go Cooper.
The thing that sucks is because we have Niners, it would be so easy to just go Kyron Puka, but they're playing in the second round. Yeah, so I would say Pollard or Gibbs here.
Yeah, we'll go Gibbs. We'll see how that's cracking because I like Cooper here just because like I like Rice too, but the issue is that we can't get Mahomes, so yeah, it puts us in a little bit of a weird spot. But you and Bush definitely raised a good question that I haven't been thinking through much myself. That you kind of, on top of needing the Super Bowl, you kind of do need to think through like conference championships.
Oh yeah,
like getting players there. So
getting that payoff
has been a bit of an issue.
I mean, like, I understand, and that's why, like, I think NFC Championship's my favorite one to attack. I have no problem getting both 49ers and Cowboys, or if you want to spice it up and go with Lions, I think that's a really good bet as well, because both those games are going to have high-scoring game environments. Like, I understand the Niners defense is very good, but Niners at home are going to be implied for over 30 points. And the Detroit Lions and the Dallas Cowboys, whichever one hypothetically in that scenario would make the NFC Championship, should be able to put up 24-plus points in that type of game environment. So you're probably looking at an over-under right about the 50-51 type of range, I would say. Maybe high 40s.
The way we just drafted completely contradicts us, but I think Lions would drop an egg against the 49ers in the championship.
I agree.
I think that they might just shit themselves. It would be like, like fucking like 28 to like 10, 28-7.
The only counter I would say too is, I mean, it is a Shanny-esque type of scheme. And if they can keep Goff clean, that would be the way that they would potentially put up points. But I'm not gonna lie, I'd feel much better about the Cowboys putting up points because much would trust Dak Prescott over Jared Goff in a non-scripted type of situation. Because on script, running the Ben Johnson offense, Jared Goff, very, very good distributor, but you get him off script. Like we've seen Dak multiple times, example against the Lions themselves, that 92-yard pass to CeeDee Lamb. Like not many quarterbacks are making that type of play out of structure, breaking a sack, going outside of the pocket, delivering a seed 55 yards down the field. Like you need that type of ability, in my opinion, to upset the Niners.
No, of course, dude. Like I don't know, dude. Like Chase Young kind of getting into form too, man. Like
they're scary. Like I can't lie.
Scary, bro. Like don't even mention Armstead. Like I think this is Ford.
Yeah. We have the Browns score later.
And then after that, I got nothing, man.
You
Like
could
if
go
you wanted
Laporta
to
because
take,
he's playing.
I actually like that as well.
He's available, right? Porta.
Porta.
Yeah.
Yeah.
50, he's
Yeah.
a
Let's take him
56
here.
ADP now.
Yeah. I'm cool to take him here, but I'm open
Could wait
to
around
anything
two.
else. I'm down to
Could wait
wait.
around.
Like, what would you want to do in that? Like, because from here we kind of can do whatever.
Maybe a Philly because we like we're live. Maybe like Devontae Smith.
Yeah, I'm down for Devontae. I think that
Okay.
makes sense as well.
Yeah, I dig it. Because then hypothetically, in that scenario, let's say the Lions beat the Rams and the Eagles were to beat the what's called the Buccaneers. Then at that point, you're getting. I mean, I guess you would probably need the Packers to beat the Cowboys in that scenario because I would really like my chances Philadelphia against Detroit potentially being a big shootout. But I mean,
100%.
yeah, I mean, we're playing hypotheticals. Put hypotheticals at the end of the day. You have to kind of, convince yourself what the nuts would be.
I think Rodgers would build chemistry with Bowers, huh?
Oh, that would be fun.
And
that
we'll see if
would
we
be
can get
fun.
him for more than 4 fucking plays this year, man. We'll see.
What a joke, man. That was the biggest letdown of the 2023 season. I don't want to rub salt in the wound there because obviously, like as a Jets fan, I can only imagine.
It's so bad, dude. It's so bad.
At least I can empathize to a certain degree because I mean, I was literally dealing with a similar situation in 2020 where Dak just shattered his ankle.
Yeah,
but I mean, it is scarier though. Like
it's scary
at
because of how
Rodgers'
old
age.
he is.
Yeah.
That's the because at that point it's like lost season, but it's like 5+ years. Like this, like I don't know, man. I got no clue. I did want to I wanted to ask like the Lions in terms of team building. I think is really interesting right now because you're gonna get Ben Johnson. He's gonna leave, which
Go to
scares me a
I think.
ton. Like, dude, people like 2 years ago, people were like Jared Goff is ass. Now, don't get me wrong, Goff is fine. But from a real life football perspective, is he that dude? I was gonna say Baker Mayfield was the name I was going to say. Like, I don't know. Like, they're capped with Goff. At a certain point, they need to take a swing on a quarterback here. And doing that without Ben Johnson would scare me as a Lions fan. I don't know what the solution is to the Ben Johnson problem / quarterback problem, but the whole thing is scary.
I mean, the best bet. Again, it all depends on what happens, pending expectations. But I can see this potentially being a scenario where obviously the Jaguars completely collapse this year. Might fire Doug Peterson. Might be just a complete train wreck going into next year. Like if Trevor Lawrence has another off year, like is he available to a team like Miami? Is he available to a team like Detroit, where you're kind of stuck right now with like the 13th to 16th best quarterbacks in the league, which is about where I would group a guy that's like Tua Tagovailoa and Jared Goff. Like, can you go make a play at a guy like Trevor Lawrence where the floor might be a little bit lower, but the ceiling, like you can see him being a top 7 or 8 quarterback and Super Bowl winning type of quarterback. I don't necessarily see that with a guy like Goff or with a guy like Tua Tagovailoa personally.
The Lawrence stuff is crazy, man. People have really
wild, bro. Big agendas. Like there was a tweet that was labeled out today that was actual EPA versus adjusted EPA. Like when you factor out like your surrounding cast, like drops like shit like that, very, very, very bad variables. And I think Trevor Lawrence, he saw his EPA per play raised from 0.06 to 0.23. For reference, 0.23, that's like a top 5 quarterback. Like that's a huge fucking increase, man.
Dude, I would give everything to have Trevor Lawrence on the Jets, dude. Like I would give everything, have it all.
Man,
yeah,
it could have.
What could have been? I hope the Jags don't flip. Oh, dude, that Rams game. I mean, it's just all bad, man. I do wonder. I hope that Jags fans haven't soured on him. It seems like it's really more so like media. QB Twitter is fucking insane. Like the Tua versus Herbert stuff, and now we're saying Trevor Lawrence is ass. It's like I don't know, man. Like, and I'm not a film guy at all, but you watch the guy play, and like he's very, very good. You put that in the context of who he was coming into the league. Like I saw, I was kind of just like trolling under Jacob Sanderson's post the other day, but I believe it was like the Vikings ex-GM, Rick Spielman was talking, and like within a millisecond, he's like, "Yep, Caleb was better than Trevor Lawrence." Like, hold on, man, hold on. Like this guy could have won the national championship for Clemson as a freshman and been a one and done if they allowed that in the NFL, and he would have been the first overall pick as like 19-year-old. Like. he is Andrew Luck, the prince who was promised. Like, that is your generational guy. Prospect wise, I'm taking Trevor Lawrence over Caleb Williams, and I love Caleb Williams, but like Trevor Lawrence was like pristine. Like, there was nothing wrong. 6'6", could move, big arm, won every
Better in
level.
structure. Way better in structure.
Best high school quarterback recruit of all time. Like, since he was in like 8th grade, he's been that guy, and he's delivered every step.
Isn't Joku available, by the way? I'm assuming not. But
no, I think Njoku's gone.
You want to look. Elijah Moore has to be one of these picks, I would say.
You mean Elijah Mitchell or no? I probably Elijah Mitchell and Elijah Moore. What do you think about that?
I dig it. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's build a Browns 49er Super Bowl. Hopefully the Browns would win that. Imagine Joe Flacco coming back and just winning a Super Bowl. That would be the most hilarious thing of all time.
I'm not going to get Joe Flacco in the fucking hall. Whatever has to happen. He wins a playoff game, and I think that might push him there.
By the way, bro, I need to address this too. So we were talking about Trevor Lawrence. I don't think it's out of the question that Drake May goes first overall. Like, genuinely. Like,
yeah, I think you're right.
I look at Caleb and Drake, and yes, Caleb is technically my 1, but like, this is a 1A, 1B situation. Like, there are a lot of people that are slandering Drake May. Like, I've seen people like have him in rankings where he's like, they're 106 in Superflex rookie drafts. And I'm like, dude, like, what are we doing, man? Like, I have him as my 1.
Probably take him over Marv.
That's what I'm saying. I have him as my 102.
Superflex, you probably kind of have to.
Like, I think it's a flat scale. If you want to value Caleb a little bit ahead, that's fine. You want to have him in the 8 to 10 range of your startup rankings, and Marv and Drake more so as 12 to 15 guys. But like, the gap that I'm seeing is just complete slander at this point.
Yeah, I agree. I really like May. I've seen some cut ups of him. I don't know what your opinion of him is, but I kind of didn't like him at all when he first started making content, but I kind of like Theo Ash these days.
Oh yeah, no, he's one of the dogs. Yeah. We were actually in the Tone Setters fantasy league together. We were
really. I knew that he was like. I knew that he definitely rubbed shoulders with that. That branch of the Twitter sphere, if you will. But I didn't love him at all when he first started making TikToks, but he grew on me. I think that he is actually really good.
Yeah, no, I fuck with Theo. He's a chill dude.
And he was on, I think he was on Mina Kimes' podcast, which is honestly huge for him.
Jeez, yeah, that's big time. Yeah, no, I've been like, we were in the last couple of years with the Tone Setters League, and take it for what it's will. There's a lot of memes that go on. Like, there's still a video on the Tone Setters account where like when somebody picked Russell Wilson, everybody was just booing in the draft because we were all in Discord drafting. So it's good times. Good times.
All right, I'm probably gonna head out and grab some dinner here.
Food, yeah.
I've named all of our drafts here. I hope that we squeeze something through.
Hopefully.
What do you got, Danny, for the people? What do you got, man?
Not much. Obviously, you guys know where to find both of us. Ron Stewart, Fantasy Stock Exchange. I mean, you guys know the drill at this point. If you're watching the stream an hour 30 in, you guys are more than likely subbed to both of our channels. But if you just found us maybe on your browsing feed, make sure you hit that subscribe button. But aside from that, go Cowboys this weekend. Really want to get over the demon of the Green Bay Packers in the playoffs, because a couple of my biggest years as a Cowboys fan, 2014, 2016. I mean, the bad man, Dez caught it. 2016, 21-3 comeback, tie it up, and then Jared Cook makes that sideline catch. Like, I've been through it against this team. I just want to see him knock off that demon. And there's a potential route where you got the Packers, the Eagles, and the 49ers all in a row. And if you're talking about like murderer's row of a redemption, that would be the path I want as a Cowboys fan.
Yeah, I love it. I'm pushing for you guys too. I kind of like McCarthy versus old team. I didn't even really think about that. That narrative, but I appreciate you coming on. I appreciate Bush coming on. Always fun hanging out. But yeah, it's the off season, dude. We're hanging out. We're chilling. We're doing our thing. I'll be on the spreadsheets very soon here. I appreciate everyone that came out here, and I will see you guys in the next one.